Hello everybody, welcome to another class. Let's see if everything is working fine. Give me a minute here. One, two, three. Another class. Let's see if... Okay, everything is working fine. So let's go. I hope you all have enjoyed the first class. I was just trying to put the tone and talk a little bit. So the idea is that I'm not going to only be teaching about coding. I want to bring my professional and life experience as well to the table. So you all can enjoy that and learn the content and be ready to engage this amazing marketing. And don't get fooled with this AI thing that is going to replace software engineers. No, they will make us even more useful, more needed. So it's the best time to learn how to do coding. So let's go. So just to help you all to get in touch with the course content, I put something in place here. So this is our course content. So if we click this link here, I bought this URL, codelearn.live. I'm not that good in English, but I know that should be coding, but it's very hard to find a URL. So the only combination I could find that could be legal was, or not legal, could be fine, was this codelearn.live. Live because I'm doing live training, code because we are learning how to code, and learn because we are learning. So if we click this link, let me move the browser here. This is a GitHub repository. We'll learn about this later on. It's part of our training. If you look here down below our content, in some place there is this version control and Git. So right now what you need to understand is GitHub is a place where we can store code, programs, software. Git was created by Linus Torvalds, the same guy that created Linux. So he has like those big two contribution. So imagine it's like a cloud platform where the companies and professionals can store the code, the document. And then you can work in a team, and then you can have collaboration. But for now, is the place where I am going to be publish those classes. So all the coding is here. So as we open here, like you can use this. Oh, wait, I went to the wrong one. Wait. What did I do? Oh, maybe the URL is not correct yet because we're supposed to go, just in case you are there, go here to Aramis, that is my account in GitHub, go to repository, and instead of the Kotlin one, get the Python one. I have to go to my hosting service and change to this URL here. I thought I did, maybe there is something wrong there. Okay, so once you are here, you can see the README page. That is what is here, something I guess I show in the first class. And the material will be here. See, there is a folder Python. If you click there, you'll see everything that is in there. So we're going to start from module 1. And today we have all this content. And every day I will be update the content because I will be create something and then I will be putting there. So I will show you how to get the latest version. So just understand that GitHub is a cloud platform where we store our code. So let's go back to our material. This, you can go directly to the GitHub repository. So if you click this link, we will be there. This next one is the playlist in YouTube. So if you open, let me bring this guy here. Is the YouTube link. Oh, list. There is only the first class. After this class I added here. So you see the second class there. And oh, sorry, this is the page about our video. If I close this, the live I guess go down, I think. And now let's start some of our content. So the language we are learning is Python, and it's a very cool language. I don't need to defend Python or do any like justification. If we go here, is the Python wiki page. So if you learn about some more details, you can go then understand about the history and some more details. It's nice to have a context. My goal is to be very pragmatic, so you'll be focused on very thorough. I'm not going to bring some extra stuff, but it's nice to read because every language has kind of a philosophy. There is some ideas behind it. People get in love with the language, get attached, but like everything else. In one point in your career, you have to learn another language as well. No developer no is a strong thing, but I don't know any developer that just learn one language in their life. You need to learn some other ones. Python is the best one for beginner, and it's a very powerful language. It's very useful. So is that why I choose Python to start with. This is the URL for Python homepage. This is the official homepage. It's not a wiki page. So if you go to this page here, we'll see that there is a lot of stuff there. Like you can see how to get started. There is downloads of Python so you can run in your environment. There is some docs, even jobs are there. There is some events. So it's insane how much information Python does have. You can even like become a member of the Python Software Foundation. You can do some donations because they use some like the idea of like free code. And looks how many tools like use Python for, and there is many different things that you can do. So right now, this course, like this training, is not focused on teach Python. We will learn Python, but just to learn the software engineer fundamentals. If I was giving like a Python training, it would be a little bit different because I assume that people will know about the fundamentals already, because it makes no sense at all to learn a computer programming language if you don't know those concepts that you're going to learn here, that you learn here. It's very difficult to learn. It's like you try to read a medicine book, advanced one, if you don't have the base. Okay? So let me close this here. I think there is another floating browser window here. Let me close this one as well. And I bring this one here as we're going to be open some other ones. So let's go here. Documentation. From that link, we can go here and there is this documentation page. So the current version is 3.11.4. Python 2 was there for a long time, and a few years back, more than a few years, the version 3 was released. So see, there is all versions here. So we are learning about the version 3. And there is documentation like tutorials, library reference, language reference, like how to set up in your environment. And for example, here, go to tutorial, there is a lot of things to do. So those tutorials are very good. So if you have time, go there and start to learn as well. As more as we progress in our course, you can go there to learn more stuff. I'm not going to cover everything that Python offer. If you get a job and apply for a job, go to a company that uses Python, then it's good to go here and really dive deep into everything that the language has. It's not my goal here. We'll see a lot that is in there. And one thing that I will advise you is to be ready to use abstraction. We'll see that there is a lot of things that we use that is kind of a black box. We need to know the function, what we have to provide, what we need to expect, and later on we may learn more details about it, because there is a lot of paved roads that was created so we can do coding. Okay, so this documentation, the current version is version 3. It's created by Guido van Rossum. For sure I said his name wrong. So he is currently working for Microsoft, so I I was working for Microsoft before I left and joined Intuit. And people was used to reach him in the Teams and say, oh, thank you for create like Python. And he was very polite and say, oh, yes, welcome and all that. So he is a very nice guy. And he is now working for Microsoft. And he is it was from Netherlands and was in 1980. So this is not long time ago. Another thing about popularity. So if we go to this TIOBE index, I don't know, is one of, there is many different index in place where languages are ranked. So this one is more like popularity. How much people is looking for this language, how much available documentation material, how much people is discuss about it, and Python is the top one. See, top one with a rate of 16%. Second one is C++, C, Java, and C#. So see, Rust is going up, Ruby, and then there is some other language. Kotlin is the one that I'm using in my work and is picking up. There are like some new language that is going up. However, don't get too much into this popularity, because not because one language is being used a lot by a lot of people, that means it's the best language to what you need to do. Python is here, but I'm 52 years old. I've been in the market since I was like 16, 17, and I never used Python professionally. I love Python, but I never use it. The same way that I never use C++ or C. I use Java a lot, C# a lot, JavaScript a lot, SQL a lot as well. So from this top 10, I work in my career with 1, 2, 3, 4. I work with Delphi back in the days, Ruby, no, PHP, COBOL. I did some work in COBOL, but it's when I was starting my career. So just to let you know that it's not a competition about all. It's like other thing in life. It's not because a lot of people is using, it's the right tool to what you need to do. So if you're gonna do maybe like game development, there is some language that is better. You want to create a new drive, an operational system. So Python, you have to go to C++ or C. Depends what you're gonna. You are more focused on maybe working Microsoft area, so C# will be the best one. Java, of course, is huge. So the good thing is that we are learning a language that is in top one, so cannot be bad, okay? But don't think, oh, because one language is top there is the best for everything. So there is always a trade-off, okay? Let's go back to our material, and then here, just to show you this is insane. Like a lot of main language today, they are like open source. So we can go, do you remember the GitHub is a repository for source? So Python code is there. There is a few different repositories here. There is a lot of documentation. And the source code for Python is here in the CPython. And if we go there, you can see all the folders, everything that is in Python. There is documentation here, like general information is going to, some similar to what I gave you, like where is the website, documentation, developer's guide, and how to contribute to it, and using Python. There is a lot of things here. Like, so if you want, you can learn even how Python was made, okay? And as you can see here, if we go to this code, that is Intel. Let's see if I can show something here. Probably be hard to get something that makes sense now, but let's go here, Python, and then inside Python, let's check the README. Let's see what it said in the README file. Oh, there is nothing much in here. So yeah, I'm just trying to see. As you can see, the extension of those files is .c. So the language was created in C. Do you remember that language in the third in this index here? See, so that is one of the most common language, and depending what you do, C is the right tool. This is the code. I'm not going to even waste time to understand. So it's funny. Coding is like somehow like text. It's not because we know how to read, we always understand what is in the text. If we read like a newspaper, probably we understand because a newspaper is made for a general public. If we get like a advanced law book, advanced accounting book, advanced math or medicine or a paper, we'll read, but you're not going to understand. It's the same here. I'm looking to this, and right now I don't have context to really understand this. It's the same in reading English. We may need to do a lot of research to really understand what this is doing. It's like I get one page from a medicine book and put in your front. Oh, do you know how to read? Yeah, so explain me this. I said, well, I don't know all around. So don't feel bad if we look to code and we can understand what kind is going on, but it's like any other text. We need more context to understand what is going on. It's not just about, oh, I know how to read, so I can understand every single piece of text that exists. No. Okay? One thing that if you know how to read and write, something that you know, you'll be able to write the same. A problem that you know how to solve, you should be able to create a program as long as you know how to do coding. That is idea here, okay? So let me just check something here. If there is any comment, there is no. So going back here. So this is the Python part. This is the language that we'll learn. And now let's see about this IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Do you remember the old typewriters that we have to like type really hard to get a paper out with texting? Later on, we created the word processors. So the most famous one is the Word from Microsoft. IDE is like an environment to help us build, test, deploy, and release our code. So this is Visual Studio Code. So here, I'm going to make it. We are using this Visual Studio Code or VS Code, like people call. So it's the one that I recommend you to use, but you can use any IDE. Right now, I guess everyone will be able to run Python. What I like about Visual Studio is that this one is multi-platform, like many others, but it's light. So if you don't, as we'll be learning like basic stuff here, any light editor will work. Wherever editor you have someone that can help you to, IDE can help you to set up, go for it. For example, if you look for help, someone that is already an engineer, and he recommend you anything else like IntelliJ, NetBeans, whatever they recommend, okay, show me. The good thing if you use Visual Studio Code is that it's a very popular one right now, and it's the one that I will be using, so it will be easy for you to follow things because you're going to be like doing debug, running. If you have no access to a PC or a computer where you can install it, you can use this online one. So if we click here, you can go to this online Python. See, it's still beta, but you can run programs here. So like we will see today, our first program that will be Hello World, something like this. And then you can run. You see the result here, Hello World. So if you have no way to install something in your PC, you are in a library, you go to a public place, a LAN house or a cyber cafe, you can use this online python.com to learn. So you can watch my videos and can build the exercise, can do the training. So I'm showing this because, of course, it's not the same experience as being using an IDE, but if you don't have access to a PC that you can set up, go for it. My advice is any PC that you can get your hands on now, you can install Linux, and then you can use for this training. The training is free. You need to invest in your internet connection and a PC. So if you don't have one, ask around. There is a lot of companies that is throwing PC in the garbage. Some people may have able to lend you one, give you one. So there is a lot of institutions that donate it. So go around. Don't stop to learn because you don't have a PC. Knock the door of the company, say, oh, do you know I'm learning code, I need a PC. So ask your politician, church. So go find out a PC that you can use. Okay? This one is Visual Studio Code. So if you go to the Visual Studio Code page, it's this one. I will not explain how to install it because I don't know what environment you'll be using. This one I use Linux, I use Windows, I use Mac, and I don't want to go in the business to explain how to do all this installation. Right here is the website identified that I'm using Linux. Give me the download for the Linux packages. If I was in Windows, probably if I go here, other platform is going to show everything. So you can download for Windows, Linux, Mac. The three most one use it. So please find a way to install it. There is plenty of tutorials and videos, and even here, like if you land there is explanation how to install it. So do it. I'm not going to help on that because there is plenty of good material there. People explain, go to YouTube, and if you have any trouble, look for someone to help. Ask in the comments here. I may give some direction, but it's up to you. It's part of your homework to set up a machine with Visual Studio Code. If you don't have access to a machine that you can install, then you can follow the class and use the online one, online IDE. So going back to Visual Studio, just to explain, IDE is this. So when you go work in a company, luckily we all gonna get a job when we finish this training. Sometimes the company already has one that pay license, you have to use it, or you can choose. So don't be attached or fall in love with IDE. Lord, of course we have our preference, because like language, you have to change it. And I see a lot of people that get attached and then have a resistance to learn a new one. So most of the jobs that I had to use different IDEs, depending on the type of the project. We use one or other. So just be like an open mind that IDE is just a tool. Okay, and you see a lot of people argue, oh, this is best, this is best, this is better, and then that, but there is always a use for a tool. You just need to have the need for it. So how to set up Python to run in VS Code? I put a URL here that you can go there as well, and then you can read it. I'm not going to go there, but it's part of your job to do it. Remember when I told you about go to a gym, cross your arms and do nothing? So if you don't go for this, you don't try to set up Visual Studio, or you give up, that means you are not ready to really take the next step. Okay? Okay, no questions so far, and here's it. So my expectations for the next class, you have Visual Studio ready to roll. And like I put here, there is plenty of videos in YouTube. People is amazing. Whatever you need to do, whatever you need to learn, there is someone that already help you with that. If you go to YouTube right now, how I install Visual Studio is there. How I set up Python Visual Studio is there. How I do in Linux, how I do in Mac, how I do in Windows, everyone put there. So collaboration is the big deal in this generation. Okay. And one thing that I aim, and I will talk about this later on, every 10 class, I will talk about a generic topic. One that I like to talk is collaboration, because as more as you help, as more you collaborate, more you will get back. And then I will talk about that. But take advantage of all this information that's out there and go for it. How to access the content of this course. So I will be showing here, but we have multiple options. One is you can go directly to the GitHub repository or you can click this link. Looks like today is not to work fine. It's going to another repository. Let's see when it loads here. Which one was there? Yeah. Oh, sorry. There is no HTTPS. This one I didn't set up HTTPS. My bad. Yeah. So I will fix this. So go to this guy first. Once you are there, this is our GitHub page. Okay. How you open it? So what I will do here is I open a new Visual Studio Code page. And how you get a repository from the internet, from the GitHub, you go to the option here, clone Git repository. I put the link here, clone this repository, but the way that we can get for any repository is go to the repository page. Even the one that we had for Python will be similar. Once you are there, go to this here, code. There is a few different ones. You can, if you don't want to really, you can just download, but copy this URL. Then you go to Visual Studio. Where is the window where I said, wait. There is a window, this one here. Clone Git repository. And then you paste the URL right here. You hit enter. Visual Studio will ask you, where do you want to save this? Choose a folder. I will get like downloads here. And I will save it. And it's going to save and they'll ask you, do you want to open this in a new window? I will do it. So you have access to this material there. Every day, just remember this, every day that you get in, go to this place here, source control, and then hit this, pull. Pull will get all the changes that I did and put in the repository, and you bring it to your PC. Because remember, I will be update this material. So every day you see to study and you want to see what I did in the last class, go here and do a pull. I will be changing this a lot. Okay, and I take this project very serious and I try to keep up to date. So this push is different. It's when I do the change, I do the push. I'm not going to give access for anyone now to do push, but you all can do pull because this is a public repository, so anyone can have access. You can make a copy of my repository there. We learn this, and then you can do your change. You can use the material the way that you like. Okay, so just to let you know, when you do this, you have something like this. Cool. And this is when we start our classes. Let's see the time here, how it is. I move all this to this side now. I want to keep the class like around 1 hour-ish. Let's see how long, how many time. Oh, 28. Okay, it's good. So now let me save this file. And let's go to our first, every file inside this Python 01 intro folder, all the other folders, what we use in our classes. So the first program in Python, this is the file name, C_00_hello world.py. So the extension py tells my operational system, my IDE, that, oh, this is a Python program. So this is something like very interesting because every programming language, the first thing they do is to teach you how to do the hello world. Python has the simplest hello world ever. It's just print hello world. And I can go here, run, and I can say start debug, that is F5, or run without debug. For me, as we'll be debugging a lot, debugging is we will run our program that we can go step by step so we can see what is going on. If I press F5 right now, I see here in the console the execution of this program. Pay attention that we can see here that actually you are running Bean, Python, and then all this to run this program. Do you remember about abstraction? A lot of people did a lot of hard work, so we can enjoy and do this thing. There is a lot of thing going on behind the scenes. Do you remember? This here will be translated to code machine and then you'll be executed. So there is a lot of like tooling that is behind it. My advice for everyone in this area is get used to sometime just know that there is thing behind the scene, and you don't need to know everything to take advantage of those things. It's behind the scene for a reason. So here we go. What we are doing here is print hello world. So in Python, this command prints, get whatever is in here, and output in the console. Do you remember when I talk about the type of the user interface? This is the simplest one ever, but it's enough for us that we're learning. So this is like let me do this, I will copy this, the command that, let's see if it's gonna work. And I will open my terminal. And I will paste that command. And if I'm looking off, no, something, let's see here this. If I can maybe just, oops, I'll do a little bit different. Let's see. Sometime like live training, this happened. Let's see what I can remove. So I can remove all this, I think. Oh, wait. I'll try to simplify this, see if it's going to work. Yeah, this should do the trick. Or I could just do this. I run this command called Python, Bean Python, and point to this folder. See, home, RMS, documents, Apple, or is this file here. And that program will execute. And we saw the result in the console. Hello, Passindu Prabhasara. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. So the IDE is help me generate this entire command. So it's tell my PC, run this command Python, point to this file. The output of the file will be hello world. This looks like nothing, but believe me, hundreds, maybe thousands of lines of code have to happen behind the scenes to make this little thing here. Now what we'll do, we'll open a new file and we'll learn about something new called comments. So comments is a way that we can put some documents or comments in our program just for another person. The comments does not change anything in our program. There is no impact at all. For the PC, it's like when we're going to execute our program, we ignore the comment. So the comment, we just put this hash sign. So after this hash sign, do you see that it's all green here? The IDE is showing me this it's like a styling, code styling. This is a comment. This is another comment. So now I'm trying to explain that hello world. See, this one has no comment. So it is, maybe you can not understand something. But if we go to this one, now I say the print command prints to the default output. It's so obvious that maybe it does not even deserve explanation. Here we have print hello world. So when I was a kid, that I was learning Basic, then I saw the first print hello world. That like amazed me. I said, holy, I can do something like this. I can command the computer to do stuff. And that really fascinated me. So I was like 16 when I started to learn coding. And then I have been doing this for my entire life. And here there is a comment. Do you see there is comments? And after the comment, wherever there is the hash signal, everything after that is a comment. So we can have a comment that starts in the beginning of the line or after that. And there is another comment he explained. Multi-line comments are defined by 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. So here is an example. I put like 3 single quotes here, 3 single quotes here. Everything that's in the middle is just a comment. So this is just to explain something for a human. Comments are very important. If we go to the Python source code and we open anything here, this is how we put comment in C. So do you see? There are not many comments, but there are comments there. So a good engineer does a good job document the code, because then when someone else will read that code, will do some maintenance, it will understand what is in there. Okay, so it's like you give some tips to someone that will read your code. We can use like 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. Whatever is in between that is just a comment. And now there is another print that just say print hello world with comment. So if I run this code, I will do F5. Do you remember? Now this is the one that was executed. So if I go to my console now, there is the history of the comments. I will go up and I will change this from this. The name that I have now is 1. And here is comments .py. See, hello world with comments. Because there is all these comments here, but there are only 2 commands. Sorry, my pronunciation for some time is messed, but commands. We have this print and this print. Is that why I only see 2 outputs? Everything else in this program is just comments. There is a special comment that you say this to do, that is just to allow us to put some notes that later on we can find. So something that you need, oh, I need to verify this. This we need to remove later on. I'm not confident. So we put a to-do that later on there is a window here that we can open it and see all the to-dos in our code. Okay? So the next class, I need good time to explain it. So I will stop here. It's good because then you have time until next Tuesday to have the setup of your Visual Studio, and then we can continue the class. So today was more like a warming up, and at least you can run. I want to make sure that until next class or until you watch the next class, you are able to write this print hello world, go here to run, start debug or F5 or Control F5, and see the result down here. The result will be in the terminal. Remember that there is some other windows here as well. Is the terminal one. And after that, we'll keep learning. So I hope you enjoy. This training is really focused on who has no background at all. My goal is to help those that never had access to maybe formal education or like any course. And my goal is to bring here high quality coding training. I will go very slowly and very careful to make sure that we all go together, that we all learn those important skills. Cool? So I hope to see you next class. God bless you and have a nice day. Bye. Da, da, da.